Yo, what's up, guys? So it's 3:50 a.m. and I kind of just got done watching the Azubu versus CLG games. Um, and I was looking through the forums and also on my Facebook comments and that kind of stuff, and I was seeing a lot of comments on how Azubu Frost cheated against TSM and they don't deserve to go through. Um, and if they do win, it's complete BS because they cheated. And all these comments about like how Azubu Frost doesn't deserve to win and like they're scumbags and all this stuff. And I do not believe this is true. And I believe that all the blame is to be put onto Riot. So while Azubu Frost should not have looked over at the screen, if anybody, Riot said it themselves in a thread post that they were looking at the stage to make sure that nobody was cheating or doing anything. There was a red post that said that, and I'm sure a lot of you who looked into this actually saw the red post. So that's one instance where Riot failed and they're not taking credibility. So basically what Riot decided to do was to fine Azubu $30,000 after deciding that this was cheating, like that they actually cheated. Instead of remaking the game when they finally decided that, yeah, it was a little sketchy, and yeah, Azubu may have seen their map that was clearly visible, might I add, clearly visible, and even subconsciously the player would like look over like a little bit. I mean, I know I've done that in tournaments where I'm like, oh my god, I died, and then I look around like I've never seen an instance in a tournament where the minimap was visible. Like, would I have done that in a tournament? Like, if I was just so distressed and my mind was just running a million miles an hour, like, I might have done that in a tournament. Like, especially if you're fighting over $1 million, like your mind wants to win so bad that like maybe you would have done something like that. I mean, the point is that it shouldn't be visible to you. Why are you allowing the players on the stage to see everything that's going on? Like, okay, like the MLG tournament that I went to, we were sitting in these booths where you couldn't even see the audience really. Like, your screens were in front of you, and like all you could see was your screens. You could look over to the left, you could see the player next to you, and then if you really like looked your head over, then you could see the other players, but you couldn't see their screens at all. Like, you couldn't see anything. You could stand up, walk around in your booth, and you couldn't see anything. So like, I don't know, understand why there wasn't a booth in this tournament. But my main problem with this whole thing is that once Riot decided that Azubu did cheat, they did not give TSM a second chance. Like, okay, do I think that TSM was going to beat Azubu? Like, I can't even start commenting about that because it's irrelevant. It's just that fact that TSM put all in on their level 1 strategy and it didn't work out. Because Azubu saw the level 1 strategy. Like, the game was over from there. Do I think that it was smart to put 100% of $1 million tournament on the first 2 minutes of the game? I don't think it was that smart, but it's irrelevant. The point is that Riot is attempting to take no credibility from this for this at all, and basically what they did was they just find Azubu and they're like, well, that's it, and then everybody can call them scumbags, and nobody's really putting the blame on Riot here, which is the main problem. The main blame is to be put on Riot. And let us not forget about all the DDoSing and everything that happened with CLG EU games. Like, I think this whole tournament has just been a pretty big failure by Riot. And I don't think people should be blaming Azubu at all. So that's my opinion on the whole fiasco. And I hope that the best team wins. And from what I've seen from Azubu today, they played flawlessly against CLG the first game. I'm just looking at this based on their skill and how they practice and how they're performing. Um, they knew exactly what to do. They caught people at the exact right times. They sat like after they got banned, they knew they had no wards, and they knew that they could pop Shirley and catch somebody, and they just sat in that brush, and then they just waited, and they just popped everything, and they just caught whoever. I forget who they caught in the brush, but they just caught somebody, and then they just knew exactly the steps to take. I've been kind of waiting for a team like this, where like they're actually a tournament team, like they can actually do smart things. Like that's the thing. I've been watching this whole tournament. I haven't really been seeing I haven't really been seeing teams play at this level. So like to see a team that I really respect as like a good team that like is just getting completely dumped on by the community is just like, it's just, I don't know, dude.